Wednesday night show. WMEAD. It's Midnight Judge After Dark. I'm, of course, your narrator, Mr. Rob Robash. With me, as always, Mr. Tom Connors.
Heyo.
Heyo. And with us once again is Mr. Tyler Bioshock Rodriguez.
Heyo.
And joining us actually from her own channel, the Mistress of Mayhem herself, Miss Mary Mayhem.
Hi guys, nice to be here.
And joining us once again, your favorite YouTube harpy, Mary. We need some music for you. Why don't you introduce yourself, Missy?
And Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy. You know that.
I know, but every time I talk, it defaults back to my picture. And
That's
if ever look at yours. No,
they don't want to look at me. They're here. They're for you. They're for you guys. I'm just a jiggle.
Yes, that's right. You're the TNA. Now, okay. Now we're supposed to be joined by Dave, someone else, a good friend of mine, Dave Sheen, but he's having trouble getting into the hangout here. Let me see if I could do something to help him out here. But talk amongst yourselves.
His email in the thing, and I can probably add him through his email. Sometimes that's how people have to go through it.
Yeah. Let me see what we got here. For God's sake.
Well, howdy.
Is it the day from the video you did when you did the stand-up?
Yes, that guy.
I went and got some orange juice per Tom's instructions. Long cup of that.
Tom,
Yeah.
Well,
that's right.
probably not going to help you much now, but it probably would have helped you before.
Well, I've been drinking it. Like I did kill a gallon in like a day and a half. So
What the heck is going on here?
God,
Yeah,
summer
my
colds are
mom-
terrible.
LPN or whatever, and she's told me I don't know how many times. Ain't gonna do you no good if you're already sick. You got to do it ahead of time. So, yeah.
Dave says the link just opens the app. Do I have to look for something once I'm there? It should just give you it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Put his email in the thing here. I'll add him to the thing, and then he should be able to just join us through his app. Then, otherwise,
All right.
gotta love Google Hangouts, and then the shit's supposed to be going away anyway. So they say.
All right. Well, let me see what we got here. I can't. I don't chat. Okay. I can't. What the heck? How the heck do you add him here? They changed shit.
I think I've got to do it. That's why I said give me his.
All right. His email is okay. Gotta love this. Talk amongst yourself.
So how about this new writing crop? I got to shout out to Captain April for sending this. Is the new one. This is the third.
Oh yeah, is that the golden?
This is the one with the gold and the little handly.
Ooh.
You can flip that one around and do like fancy shit.
Yeah. I can do fancy shit with all of them now.
Oh, no, I know. You put it on your wrap it around your hand and you can flip it around and stuff. You know?
Oh yeah, if I know what I'm doing. Well, see, the red one also has the strap. It's just which ones are coming to Vegas with us?
bring them all.
Why would you?
Lucky if that's not the one you check in, you should be all right. You bring it out to carry on.
That's right. That's right. I have to have a checked bag. That's the thing, because I'm going to be bringing, toys.
That's a word for it.
Are we sure we're not? This isn't the Aunt Mona podcast.
Not yet, no.
Dave, your camera's pointed at your ceiling.
It's more attractive than I am.
Oh,
On the top of your head for a second. Nice to meet you, Dave.
Everyone, there he is. It's Sheldor. So,
Yeah,
everyone, Bazinga, yes. This is, I'd like to introduce everybody to my good friend, the Cheech to my Chong. Tom, you're the Chong to my Cheech. So, Mr. Dave Sheehan. So,
Hi, everyone.
Dave, that's
Hello.
Barry, Tom, that's Mecha Random, that's Tyler Bioshock, and myself. So, so we're here to it's pretty much. Dave was on my Dave was on the previous podcast. We used to do Reality Wasted, so it's pretty much the same format. So.
Okay.
So you'll fit
Except
right
I
in.
bounce for super chats, and I have a writing prop or 3.
Don't be too excited, Dave. Yeah, try to contain yourself.
I don't have anything to match a riding crop. I have a monkey wrench. Does that count?
Yes. Hey, it's always good to
Very
throw a
well.
monkey wrench into this stream, right?
Oh yeah, it's always good. Okay. We got that straightened out.
Sorry about that.
And so let's get on. What's our first story here? Let's see. It took us long. That's 6 minutes and 8 seconds in the show. Dear God. Even when we're organized, we're disorganized.
I mean, if it makes me feel any better, I still love you.
Okay, well, let's start with. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's start with the fan. Bill and Ted news. Okay, we're big fans of Bill and Ted. Dave, you like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Those movies, right?
It's been a while since I've seen them, but yeah, great movies.
Well, Barry breakout Anthony Kerrigan joins Barry Breakout. Barry Breakout? Okay. Oh, he was in Barry. Okay.
Badly. Yeah. That makes no sense.
Repeat your shit, Hollywood Reporter.
You've probably seen him in Gotham and a few other movies. He's a very.
I don't want Gotham stuff. So,
It wasn't good.
All right. Well, that guy there, he's gonna be in Bill and Ted.
Looks like he could play the Grim Reaper Jr.
Mm-hmm. Well, would he really need to have a son, the Grim Reaper? Well, anyway, that's between him and someone else. So.
Maybe that's where it goes.
Yeah. So Kerrigan's hot streak continues and comes on the heels of the actors booking a role in Kevin Hart's Fatherhood. Okay. Anthony Kerrigan, who plays fan favorite NoHo Hank on HBO's Barry. HBO's stuff I've never. What do they ever get a new series every week? This HBO. What's going on?
I've heard with Bill Hader.
Yeah, I was just gonna say with Bill Hader, where he's isn't he like an assassin who's like hiding as an actor or something like that?
He wants to be an actor.
It's
a good show.
I've seen bits and pieces. I'm a big Bill Hader fan, but it doesn't not really my kind of show. But it's apparently gotten a lot of critical praise. I know he's gotten like Emmy nods for it.
Okay. Well, all right. He's anyway. Yeah, well, he's gonna be in Bill and Ted. Okay. So Dean Parasoikos is directing the movie, which has a script by Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon, the screenwriter duo behind the first 2 Bill and Ted movies. The pick is set to begin shooting in July in New Orleans. Cast already includes William Sadler, Samara Weaving, Brigitte Lundy Payne, and Scott Mescudi, aka Kid Cudi.
The rapper?
Okay.
The rapper?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I can look it up. It's Cuddy is how
Yeah,
you say it.
Cuddy. I think.
Wow.
I was about to say,
We
no,
have a little bit of a theory about that.
I was
You want us to go through that?
Mhm. Yeah. Where's my video? I made a video on this. I think. Well, we already have the plot detail of what is going on in Bill and Ted Face the Music, right? So they're going throughout time with the help of their family and some old friends and some music legends. Well, I have a theory that Kid Cudi might be actually going to play a certain music legend that might have inspired some heavy metal guitarists. You know, Jimi Hendrix, maybe. Possibly, it's possible.
I thought maybe.
I'm sorry, Kid Cudi's a hack.
I don't know anything about him. I don't know.
I don't know from Kid
We just
Cudi.
took one look at him and said, "Yeah, he could play Jimi Hendrix easy."
He
Yeah.
could
I
also
thought
sold
that-
weed to the right people.
I thought that's just what the other kids call him Kid Cudi because they were really mean to him because he had Kid Cudi.
Oh, no.
Maybe they did, and he just changed the pronunciation to try to like own his bullying.
Do the kids even know who Jimi Hendrix even is anymore?
Well, that's for people our age who watched Bill and Ted back then.
True.
What kids are going to go see Bill and Ted 3?
Yeah, it was the part where they said music legends, and you have to stop and think, well, who is it that inspires them? Well, it's going to be guys like Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and Van Halen and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, because I know who I was listening to, and I was learning electric guitar around the time of Bill and Ted, even like getting, the same sort. This is like my room in 1992. So it was Jimi Hendrix, Flying V, Black and Red Flying V. That was my thing, and it's, of course that's who I would put in a movie. But if I had a time machine, I'd probably go and meet Jimi Hendrix. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I told you guys this before, but I've never actually seen Bill and Ted. So I'm
That's
not
because
sure.
you're a young one. You're a youngling.
I'm not that young. 34.
If I had a time machine, I would bet on the Jets to win the Super Bowl. So I mean, that's
I just go to Monterey Pop probably and drop a lot of acid, sleep with Eric Burden.
Yeah, they probably would have going to places like Monterey Pop in time and Woodstock and stuff like that. I can imagine see them doing that. Well, and we also had another theory too, didn't we, Mecca? Because the first movie was through time.
Yes.
The second movie was through heaven and hell.
Mm-hmm.
What if this time they're going through dimensions?
Yes.
Not just
where Jimmy never died.
That could be
possible.
They are themselves stuck in an alternate dimension is kind of where we had a theory. Like this villain that they just cast, or at least let us know that they cast, from an earlier synopsis way back when, which obviously they're using the same script.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody did something in the future worse than Denomalos to screw everything up. And that's why they're going to explain why Rufus is gone and why they haven't saved the universe yet.
Also, maybe sons and daughters instead of sons.
Well, there's a thing they never specified.
And see, I guess when they filmed the original Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, this is coming straight from Ed Sullivan. I guess they used girls to play the kids anyway.
Yes, the children were also girls. They never specified. Yeah, the one strapped to Keanu Reeves is wearing the exact same color as the mother, the same color of purple. They're not. They are kind of dressed as boys, but they're not traditionally dressed as girls. I watched the clip when I did my first theory. I've been doing a lot of theory videos on Bill and Ted that no one's watching, but well, watch my videos, please. But no, so they didn't specify. They said here's little Bill and here's little Ted, and we know they named their kids after each other, and we know that the one is playing little Billy and one is playing Thea now, which would be little Ted. Yeah, Theodora, little Thea. So. And these actresses are about the right age. They're about in their like mid 20s. So they would kind of be around the same age had this film been made a few years ago when they wrote the script, to kind of be the right age to where these could just be their kids. I don't think they gender swapped them. I really don't. I hope not anyway.
And also amusingly, Samara Weaving is Hugo Weaving's niece.
Well, and I don't think they're going to play that big of a part in the movie as we think either.
No, I don't think so.
Be there, but I don't think that they're going to be the center of attention. I think they're going to play this more like Cobra Kai. At least I hope. Anybody else got anything about it besides me or Mecca? Dave, you've been quiet.
Honestly, I guess it's been longer than I thought since I saw them because I don't really remember these details. It was probably a few years after those movies came out that I saw them. I don't remember children being strapped to anybody, so I couldn't really weigh in on that.
That was at the end of the second one.
Yeah, that was at the very end of the second movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I like the idea. I feel like this could go either way, being so far after the others, but it could be really good. It could be meh. But if they get the right people behind it, hopefully.
Well, the upside is we have the original writers and creators. We have, of course, Alex Winters, Keanu Reeves, William Sadler back as Death. I mean, what more could you have?
And Alex Winter, I guess, has been a big name like behind the scenes in Hollywood. I don't know much else from him other than that, but I've come to learn recently he's like a director producer now.
Yeah, he does I think he does regular movies too, but I know he does more like documentaries and stuff like that, and I think he produces and stuff like that more so, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's really odd for a Bill and Ted movie. Now, granted, I haven't ever seen them, so I don't know what I'm talking about here, but a villain? Like, they have villains in Bill and Ted movies?
Not really.
Yeah.
And it works.
In the second one,
They're difficult movies to explain, Mary. You have to see them. They're definitely of their time, so I don't know how well they'll play to you now, but they're very... Like if you were maybe 20 years younger, you could probably really get into them. They speak to that kind of generation, I guess, or that kind of age group. I don't know. You might like them.
Yeah, I was like 10. I was like 10 when they came out, so
they're hard to hate.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Bill and Ted aren't mean spirited. They're not.
No.
Yeah, that's one of the things is like they never had a reason to male bash them because they weren't mean spirited, they weren't jerks. So I hope they're not going to be going that direction and doing the male bashing crap.
They
that
won't. They're just bumbling idiots. That's all they are. But fun.
Yeah.
Lovable idiots, yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of like Beavis and Butthead, only smarter.
Are we talking like Dumb and Dumber status?
No,
they're
just more Beavis and Butthead-y, but not.
Yeah, they're like
gross.
Butthead, only more innocent. Yeah,
only more surfer dudes.
Yeah, they definitely don't get into too much sex stuff. No. They don't get into too much of that kind of crap. I mean, yeah, they like they meet some chicks when they go to medieval England and fall in love with them, but that's like the extent of the actual sexual nature of anything. So it's very very PG rated.
There's only one more pertinent bit to the story. The new story, according to the production, once again centers on the affable best friends, now middle-aged and still yet to fulfill their rock and roll destiny. When a visitor from the future warns them that only their song can save life as we know it and bring harmony to the universe, the pair set out on a new adventure, helped along by their daughters, old friends, and a new batch of historical figures and a few music legends.
That's
so most likely, yeah. So that's the only other pertinent information. The rest of this piece is just sort of release date, and just to pad it out, representation, information, but blah blah blah. Nobody.
It's funny. Alex Winters has had a pretty good career. He was on Broadway once.
He was?
Yeah, he was really in The King and I in the 70s and Peter Pan. He was also, and I just remember this, in Death Wish 3 as one of the punks.
Yeah.
Lost Boys, yeah.
That too.
What was that? Somebody cracking into a bag of potato chips?
That is my stupid candy falling off when I went to unmute the mic, falling off my desk. No, because I went to unmute the mic and then it fell because I bumped it because I'm klutzy.
Dave, how much vaping? Dave, how many reality wasted flashbacks are you having now? So that's
plenty. I should put on the T-shirt I still have from it.
Yeah, I just found it actually. So
still,
this has got to be very entertaining for Dave, I'm sure.
Now, what is the release date targeted for Face the Music?
Summer 2028.
Next year, okay.
Let's see.
Actually, I think it's July 21st, 2020, right? Or is that August?
Oh, they already have it pinned down.
Well, it says here August 21st, 2020.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Woot!
Sorry, I was just like, hey, I know that day.
Woot.
Yeah, they're just beginning filming here. This last month here, just at the end of May. It was.
They're gonna start actually. It says they're gonna start in New Orleans in July.
Well, I think they already did some filming, didn't they, Mecca?
They haven't yet. They're still casting.
Oh, okay.
Is what we're hearing. They're kind of in the cast. They're in pre-production.
New Orleans in July. That ought to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone who's only ever seen Keanu Reeves as John Wick, this is going to be a major change of acting.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
This is one of the movies that put Keanu on the map.
Yeah, it did. Before that, he was just that weirdo guy.
Have a dude on not eyes?
Wouldn't that movie have made him just a weirdo guy?
Well, even the more noteworthy weirdo guy.
More noteworthy.
Well, Bill and Ted almost didn't see the light of day. Orion was going bankrupt at the time, and they were thinking about just sending it straight to video.
Really?
And then Keanu ended up being in, what was it in between? He filmed it, and then he was in something else, and then when it came out, he was a star. Or at least people knew who he was. I can't remember what it was. Parenthood or something like that. Came out right in the Interium.
It had to have been Parenthood.
Yeah. Like that.
Wasn't it? Was it Private Idaho? Was it?
He did with
was around then, and then Point Break.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, one of those. That's
Point Break and Dracula were like really close together.
Dracula was 92.
That was after, but what the one he did with not the Joaquin Phoenix's
River Phoenix.
River Phoenix.
Yeah, that's Private Idaho. That came out in 91, though, same year as Bill and Ted.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in a bunch of stuff, but yeah, Bill and Ted was kind of a standout for him around then. And then, once Speed happened, he was A-list.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Bogus Adventure. Sorry, that was 91. Excuse me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then he did. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it was Parenthood then, because I think that was 89.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was, and I forgot he was in that.
Ooh.
Yeah, because they filmed Bill and Ted in 88, but it did not come out till 89, and I think it even still says it's 1988 in the movie itself.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we were.
The one thing to mention is when we were talking about what audience this would be made for, that's something Roger Ebert wondered famously in his review for Bogart's Journey, where he could not figure out why they were putting in references to Ingmar Bergman in the sequel.
Because why not?
Oh yeah, but it's like
it was kind of for that. You know, if you
for
go
nerdy weird kids.
Well, even Beavis and Butthead's crowd wasn't Beavis and Butthead. You know what I mean?
No.
Like people who were like Beavis and Butthead weren't really watching it. They didn't get the jokes because they were the joke.
Mm-hmm.
People who got the jokes were those who were, you know, David Letterman, for instance, was a huge Beavis and Butthead fan.
Oh, yeah.
So you could see where a lot of people I knew who were Bill and Ted fans were not the type of people you would think would be a Bill and Ted fan either, and that's the reason, because the humor is at a little bit higher level, I guess. I don't want to make it sound like they're elite, but
well, even look at something like Archer. They throw a lot of obscure literary references in there from time to time, and lots of historical references. Who do I look like? 16th century female pirate Grania O'Malley? Because I don't. You know, it's you're not my supervisor. So, all right, okay. I don't know. Like I said, they're never above or below throwing some kind of obscure reference in that only certain people are going to get.
Oh, true. But Roger Ebert said that he enjoyed Bogart's Adventure a lot more because, well, he loved Seven Seals, so he thought also with Death was hilarious, but he thought that all the potheads that like the first movie were like, they're not going to get this whatsoever.
Yeah, I think he underestimated the crowd a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He did that a lot.
That wasn't even meant to be the main story. I think I got him in a backwards order in there, Rob, but that was
it happens. It happens. So,
do it live. Yeah. Fuck it.
Well,
do it live!
Yeah, he's doing them backwards, but that's all right.
All right, well, I could go back to the bottom if you want.
You can do it that way, yeah.
Okay, so the Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this, but we're not going to get as in-depth because I think we're planning on doing what we did with the last Kurtzman interview, which most of you probably remember. We broke it down, like we took out the best bits and we just kind of broke it down for like 2 hours, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, we need to do that because there's so much in this. There's like 5 videos of stuff in this Kurtzman interview.
Now, Dave, hold on. Okay, now, Dave, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with Alex Kurtzman?
I feel like I recognize the name, but I can't place it.
Okay, he did Mission Impossible. He wrote Star Trek. He's in charge of the new Star Trek. Okay. Now I'm gonna
Transformers has been involved with Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
He killed the Universal Dark Universe.
Pretty much, yeah. So, for God's sake.
Yep. He was a writer for The Island, Legend of Zorro, which was terrible. Transformers, the original, Transformers 2, Watchmen, Star Trek, Cowboys and Aliens. Remember that thing? Amazing Spider-Man 2, and The Mummy.
Well, this is relevant because whoops, sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
The Island, is that the one with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't thought about that movie in a long time.
Yeah, pretty much anybody who taints anything in Hollywood, this guy's been a part of it. But this is relevant because we just did a report that kind of corresponds with stuff that Mecca and Nerderotic and Doomcock have been talking about, this whole thing about Kurtzman being pushed out. I don't want to say fired. See, everybody's saying fired. And in our video, we specified that he has not yet quite been fired, or you couldn't really call it that. So anyway, Rob, give us a little highlight of what this, let's face it, this thing came out at 8:39 the same day we released our video.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Coincidental.
Well, yeah, and that's because they keep saying, "Oh, you said he was fired. You said he was fired," and I'm even getting in on that. I'm like, no, watch my video. Like, people here for the record, for any of the people out there, I did not say he was fired. I didn't say he was fired. I said if anything happens, he'll be moved out and up. But no, you would hear it from the actual things and not some person in a DM on Twitter.
The writing crop comes into play.
It has to. Oh, I guess I'm mad at these people.
Okay, now, somebody you have to get the ding up, okay? Because anytime Alex Kurtz, you have to count the dings with the ands. Now, Deadline ran with this again. They must have had this. He did this interview or this podcast or whatever it was. It must have been in the can for at least a week or 2 weeks or so. Now, Alex Kurtzman on rebuilding Star Trek for the next generation, directing Discovery and progress with Picard. Crew call podcast. I think that's fine. What's the trick to exploding and rebuilding Star Trek so that new fans embrace it and Trekkies don't snub it?
I didn't know if he was talking or if that was the article.
No, that's the article, but no. Render onto Caesar what is Caesar's. Everybody from the older generation should be incorporated into the new generation. There should always be respect for both, and it always has to forge new ground, says Star Trek Discovery EP scribe and director Alex Kurtzman on his secret sauce for dusting off and refurbishing the 53-year-old franchise for the small screen. The plan is multiple shows, Kurtzman confirmed to both Deadline genre editor Jeff Boucher and I on his grand plans to have Star Trek series on CBS All Access at any given point in time in the future, each one distinct. Now he's going to lay it on thick here. It takes really a year from writing to finished product, sort of like animation, said Kurtzman. VFX on a Star Trek show can take 7 months, while a new set can take 4 to 5 months of construction time. I have to plan 2 or 3 years out from now, says the EP when it comes to creating a new Star Trek show. On tonight's crew call, Kurtzman provides an update on Star Trek, the animated series, which are in production, whether we'll be seeing young Spock again with the Michelle Yeoh, Captain Philippa Georgiou series. Are they really going to go through with that? Breaking the Story, Season 3 Discovery, and directing Season 2, Episode 1's brother. Do we all? Okay, so far so good. We all kind of.
That was terrible. Oh yeah, you know when you listen to the whole thing, it's like a 40-minute freaking podcast. He flat out mentions the Spock helmet that I like to use on my videos all the time. He flat out mentions the inner light and things, which he's never seen clearly because he has no idea what it's about. He says we're passionate and we're snarky, and Anthony Rapp's called me snarky a few times. So I'm like, oh, that's a word they're using to talk about me. Thank you.
You are smart.
You are smart. But we'll dig into this when we get into it real heavy duty. But the one thing that really stuck out to me is the context of what he's talking about those toys in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They are covering, and if you listen to the interview, and this is why I think we really should get into it, they make sure they cover a lot of bases on things that we've talked about. And a lot of it's excuses and gaslighting and bullshit. And that's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, we have a quick quote. We have some quotes from Kurtzman. Okay, so get the dinger ready. A lot has happened to Jean-Luc Picard. Oh, no. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. But most of all, Boucher and I pull out some more details on Picard. Okay, that's not him. Okay, this is from Kurtzman. A lot has happened to Jean-Luc Picard in the intervening years. He had to deal with some new things, and
I had this thing off the thing I was answering.
Ding, some old things.
Ding.
Both things collide together, and he's made choices that he's not necessarily feeling great about, says Kurtzman on the new Star Trek series, which is currently shooting in Los Angeles. As the new teaser indicates, something has caused him to leave Starfleet, and you will find out a lot more about what happened, says Kurtzman, about the spinoff he's executive producing. What's been key and vital on Picard is having Patrick Stewart in the writer's room. Okay.
I heard a name.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's only natural. He knows Jean-Luc Picard more than anybody, says Kurtzman. We're reverent of him, adds the executive producer. His opinions on what happens really matter to us. We couldn't do this show unless he was happy about it.
Dune buggies!
Old Man Picard, nice of you to join us.
I like Dune buggies.
You do? Oh,
I
my
do.
Goodness. Wow. Well, Old Man Picard. Tell us exactly what you've been doing in the writer's room.
Dune buggies!
No. Bad old man. No dune buggies.
No Dune buggies? No. How about pew pew guns?
No. Star Trek is not pew pew. Star Trek is thinky, not pew pew.
Can I have a motorcycle?
No.
No Tommy guns either.
You forgot your Metamucil? Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Here's your tip.
Be careful of him. He'll try and grab your ass.
Stop grabbing my butt.
Now, hold on. I gotta ask, guys. Dave, you're not a terribly huge fan of Star Trek: Next Generation, are you?
I like pizza.
I love pizza.
Another way. I'm not that big enough of a Star Trek fan to weigh in effectively on what Kurtzman is ruining at the moment.
You can eat it without your teeth in, usually, if it's good. If it's not the hard stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh. Now, Old Man Picard. Old Man Picard. What kind of perks do you have on the set of this new series?
Every woman has 2 breasts.
No, not all women. Some have reasons to not have to.
As far as I know, they all have
What-
2. Maybe 3. I don't know.
Those
Hey, what
Martians
do you
have
do?
3.
You going to go check on the warp core? What's going on?
It's in my contract where I get to check the breasts.
Yes, it is. Yes. Now, Old Man Picard. How active are you on it? I mean, what type of role is this going to be? I mean, are you just going to be sitting back, or are you going to be getting down and dirty?
Dune buggies.
Okay, dune buggies. Very good. Well, it seems to be stuck on dune buggies.
Why
Okay,
wouldn't you be?
yes. Well, thank you for joining us, Old Man Picard.
Oh, it's time for me to leave.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
to take a nap.
Where's the door?
It's nap time for you, Old Man Picard.
Okay, I'll lay down here and take a nap. Good night.
Good night. Old Man Picard is joining. It's always fun to have Old Man.
A little farther. There you go. All right.
All right. We're going to have more to say about this, okay? Obviously. We're going to be breaking this down,
Yep.
probably with the Red Shirt guys, right?
That was how we did it last time. That'd be fun. If they're available, that'd be awesome.
Yes, Dave is exploring the haunted house right now, it seems like.
I'm looking for my red shirt.
Oh, dear.
That's dangerous.
Yeah,
it is.
Sir.
Well, I figured
Dave's-
maybe I'll
Dave's-
draw Old Man Picard's attention.
Yes. Dave's going to get blown out the airlock.
He likes shiny things and dune buggies and pew pew guns.
And
Yes.
boobies.
He likes that
Movie, so-
shiny.
Generally 2 at a time, but not exclusively.
That's
All
right.
All right. More on this as the situation warrants. So, yeah.
All right, what's next here? What do we got?
I don't know what's next.
I believe it is the Avengers Endgame story.
Avengers
Ooh.
Endgame. Oh. All right. Let me see.
Everybody here seen that? Have you seen it, Dave?
Yes.
I can't imagine anybody hasn't seen it.
Avengers Endgame. Okay.
Well, they didn't start a campaign for underprivileged children to go see it like they did with Captain Marvel, because they aren't worried about things like clothes and food. They'd rather go see Captain Marvel and smell
There's no purple people to pay for, though.
So are we?
you go down to the orphanage.
Are they
You go down to the orphanage. You ask these kids, do you want a home? Would you like something? Would you like a hot meal? So he says, no, I want to see Brie Larson. That's what they say.
No, we want to see Orange Cat because Orange Cat good.
I'm
We don't
sorry.
want. We want to see Captain Flatass. We don't care about her.
I saw a review yesterday that literally just said, "Oh, it has no." It was the box cover for the frickin' movie said has one of the most iconic cats in film history. I'm like, what? Come on.
That cat.
I want the stand-up thing that they had. I saw it at Walmart. Like a whole half of the display is goose, and I'm like, I kind of want that.
No, I get everybody liked the cat, and that's cool and everything, but I cannot forgive that cat for blinding Nick Fury and being the reason that we didn't get a badass Nick Fury. I lost moment. That bugs me.
It does.
Well, it wasn't the cat's fault. It wasn't. It's like the porgs in Last Jedi. It wasn't the porgs' fault. They were cute. And
I don't like the
movie.
porgs either.
It's only a real cat in like 2 shots. I'm not kidding. I haven't seen it again. I'll count the next time I actually sit down.
I enjoyed that so much because they were so cute and
Let's
orange.
be honest. You're gonna watch it, and then you're gonna get to the "I'm just a girl" bit. You're gonna shut it off because it's annoying.
I'm never gonna watch it again.
And Dairy Queen, if you're listening, Mary just came up with a perfect idea. Get Disney on the phone. Just give her 10%. You need to make Nick Flurries.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. It's yes, I take full credit for that.
Get Samuel L. on the phone. Make it happen.
I totally meant to do that.
Well, it would be McDonald's because they had the McFlurries, but they got rid of them.
Nick Flurry. Nick Flurry.
Yeah.
You're right. Thank you. McDonald's. Well, see, there you go. They already work with McDonald's.
The Dairy Queen.
Trademark TM Midnight's Edge After Dark.
That was
Mary
great.
Mayhem.
That's my fault.
Pay us.
Yes. Copyright, late 2019.
Bring
Yeah.
Kellogg's in. You can make a cereal called Furios.
Yeah.
Correctamundo.
Every box with a new eye patch and
So-
a cat toy.
All right. What's going on?
I don't know.
Avengers
As
Endgame.
Mary was asking, are they re-releasing Endgame? I think we're about to find out.
They're just doing it so they can beat Avatar. Like,
Yes.
they're
Oh yeah.
super butthurt over not making it. This will probably put them over the top.
They're only
Yeah.
44 million away. This will.
They re-release Avatar too, though. So
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They did actually not that long ago, didn't they?
Well, no, I mean right after it was like gone for a little bit, and then they re-released it just before it came out on video or whatever. Because that thing was one of the last movies that took forever to come to video.
Yeah. Let me check. It's been re-released several times. I think Avatar.
All right, okay, this story. Perhaps Avengers Endgame might be able to beat Avatar's massive box office record after all. The film lost the majority of its momentum by now, almost 2 months after its initial release, but it's about to get another major boost in ticket sales. No, it's not just because Spider-Man Far From Home is arriving in theaters in July. Avengers Endgame is hitting theaters for a second round, along with some additional footage that didn't make it into the official cut in April. Oh, joy. While attending Spider-Man Far From Home press junket in London, comicbook.com's Brandon Davis spoke exclusively with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, who confirmed that Avengers Endgame was heading back to the big screen for theatrical re-release. Not only that, but this version of the film will arrive with extra scenes that weren't included in the first theatrical release. Really?
So this one's going to be 7 hours instead of 3.
Well, and it's all going to be Captain Marvel junk, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 1 5-minute scene, and that's it.
Yeah, they're not getting my money for that.
No, they're not.
No, I don't want to sit through that again.
We are doing that, Feige said, of an Endgame re-release with new footage. I don't know if it's been announced, and I don't know how much. Yeah, we're doing it next weekend. You put a lot of playing into this, Kev. Come on.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, we're doing next weekend. Like what? The fuck?
Well, what else is coming out? I think that's part of it. Is like they're so desperate for box office draw, right?
Kevin Feige is turning into Donald Trump. We're doing that. I don't know when it will be announced, okay? But we are re-releasing Avengers Endgame, and we don't know how much new footage, but it will be re-released next weekend, all right?
Yes, and it's going to be huge. Okay.
The moment
it's gonna
Kevin
be
starts
huge.
saying that the moon is is a planet, we should be concerned.
Yes.
It's going to be the biggest box office of all time. No numbers will be able to touch Endgame, all right?
Huge ratings. Yeah.
Avengers is on the moon, which is Mars. It's a thing. You'll see it.
Oh my goodness. No, I actually kind of both respect and am horrified at this notion because you got to respect the like they're that butthurt over not taking it, right? They're that butthurt over I swear I'm just being sick, guys. I'm sorry. They're that butthurt over not being able to take the top spot. So they did what all savvy businessmen do, and they just make it happen, right? Like we'll just add in some new scenes, or we'll just add in some of the stuff we cut. We can do this, guys. Let's just make it. And I'm both horrified at it because I don't want to see a Captain Marvel scene. You did a good job of leaving her out of most of it, right? I enjoyed Avengers Endgame myself quite thoroughly. I had a good time at the theater. I don't need more Captain Marvel in it. I don't know what else, unless you're going to make Thor not fat anymore.
In the defense of it, though, like I said, I get what you're saying, Mary, but they did re-release Avatar a couple times. I know that to where it got to where it was. They re-released Titanic even. They re-released Star Wars to get where it's at a couple times.
But I respect it. I respect this business move. I really do. But I also...
As long as it's not all Captain Marvel, I'm cool with it.
Oh, I found it. The original release total for Avatar was, I just had it here a moment ago. 2 million. Oh, damn! I just had it a moment ago.
Mary, I have to point out though, you did say that they were butthurt over not being able to take it.
Phrasing, boom. Yeah, well, that's an oxymoron right there.
No, it was $2,749,000,000, and then because of re-releases, it became $2,787,000,000.
Yeah, I thought you meant billion. Million sounded way too low for Avatar.
Yeah, no.
It was like 2 million. That's not right. That can't be
I ain't
right.
seen any of that money.
But no, I think they're just a little upset that they didn't quite make it. And more power to them. Go ahead. But I swear to Bob, if you've got a bunch of Captain Marvel scenes in there, I'm going to be I'm not going to see this. I've already gone to see it twice. I'm not going to see it again. You've got my money twice. I'm poor. This isn't gonna work, guys.
Well, like Mecca said earlier, the scene will probably leak online if that's all it is.
Oh, it'll be on the Blu-ray too.
Yeah.
But the digital release is actually July 30th. I mean, there's really no need to see this again.
Yeah,
Well, and I
whatever
don't
new
need to
footage
see
would be in the
Captain
DVD
Marvel.
or whatever, I would think.
Yeah, I think that's what it's for, is to promote that anyway.
Also, with Avatar, it took at least a year for, I think, December 2000. Sorry. It took about a year for them to do the re-release. This came out in May. Come on.
Yeah, but on the first initial release, though, didn't Avengers make that number?
No. Well, I got to check those numbers now.
Because it's just 20 million shy, or
44
200
million.
now, I think, shy.
No, it's 44 million.
Oh, that's it now? Well, then,
Yeah. Maybe it actually did. It probably did, actually. Endgame.
All right. Well,
I'm not a numbers guy.
Oh, I'm the worst with numbers.
I don't know from numbers, okay?
Let's mosey on to the next story, because Kevin Feige is about this part of this story too, and I didn't even bring up the thing before. But so, our new favorite guys over there at We Got This Covered. Can you do the story, or did you have that?
Yeah. I got this guy. Yeah, we got this cover about bounding into comics, actually.
5 million off.
Those guys.
Endgame is made 5 million less than Avatar made on its first run.
Okay, well, you got to factor in inflation a little bit.
Yeah,
anyway.
Just call it, yeah.
Okay. Well, Kevin Feige, talk about this next story. Kevin Feige says a Spider-Man Venom team-up movie is likely. Likely. Now, you gotta listen to this answer he gives. Okay? Ever since Tom Hardy starred in last October's Venom, fans have wondered whether the symbiotic superhero, he's not a superhero, would clash with Tom Holland's Spider-Man in a future movie. With the two Toms themselves have maintained they'd be up for it. But the real decision has to come from the studios involved with those two characters. Sony, who owns both, and Marvel, who've had Spidey lent to them by Sony. Well, we've now got some big news on this front. It says it's apparently that a Spider-Man Venom movie will happen. And this comes to us from the most trustworthy source. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, Cinema Bland, caught up with the executive producer and asked him about the chances of it coming to fruition. And while he couldn't confirm or deny anything, the producer did say that it seems likely. Now, this is right from Kevin Feige. I think probably it's up to Sony. Sony has both of those characters and has Venom in their world. I don't know what their plans are for another Venom or if they're doing that, but it seems likely at some point.
See, I love this idea. I loved Venom. I thought it was a fun ride.
I want to see a movie. I want to see a movie with Craven. I want to see Craven's Last Hunt, or I want to see Michael Morbius movie with Spider-Man hot on the tail of Michael Morbius.
What's going to piss me off is it should have been connected with Spider-Man in the first goddamn place. Now you got a Venom who didn't get his powers from Spider-Man like he should have.
I think hey, it's according to Sony.
I think what we're reading, though, we should read into this a little bit more than what, like Rob's saying. The way Kevin's saying it is one way, but maybe this means there isn't a deal set in place for beyond the second Spider-Man movie with Marvel.
Probably not. Anyway, well, it says Feige isn't typically this forthcoming about Marvel's plans for the future, so presumably we can take this to mean that his studio wouldn't have anything to do with a Spidey Venom team up, much like Venom was completely Sony's own baby. By the sounds of it, don't expect to see Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3, but do watch out for the wall crawler in Venom 2. These comments potentially gel with previous reports as well, which claim that per terms of their agreement over the character, Marvel has to let Sony borrow Spider-Man for their own movies if they want to use him. We're not totally clear, though, on if this refers to Holland's specific version or if Sony might cast their own alternate Spidey. Well, knowing Sony, they're gonna fudge this all up. So, in any case, last we heard, Venom 2 was definitely in development, but Sony may need to find a new director to replace Ruben Fleischer. Meanwhile, Peter Parker returns in Spider-Man Far From Home, coming to theaters on July 2nd.
I love it.
And the source is Cinema Bland.
I love it. I like Venom, and I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So I think that would be like, as long as they wrote it well, they shot it well and everything. Like, it doesn't get better than Tom Holland to me.
Yeah, I really like him. I really like Tom Holland as
He's
Spider-Man. But I like Tobey Maguire too. But I like Tom Holland just a little bit more because, like, I mean, you see, I see him in so many like promotional things, and he's just so adorable. You know, like that video where he's on that lip sync show. I can't remember what it's called, and he's lip syncing the Umbrella.
Battle.
Yeah,
in the water with the pew, and he just like flops. Oh, it was fantastic. It was adorable. I want to eat him up.
He's so cute. And he seems like so likable, and like, so he's like, this is a superhero people want to root for. This is a superhero we want to save us, right? You know, we don't want. It's not like Brie Larson or somebody who comes in like, oh no, I'm good. I don't want you to break my arm. You know, if I tell you to smile.
Dave, what did you think of this Spider-Man?
So the potential Venom thing, this would be the third in the Tom Holland franchise if it happens.
Well, the way the deal works is Marvel only has the rights to use them, or is only supposed to work on 2 Spider-Man movies, and they had 5 appearances. So this last Spider-Man movie will be their last interaction with him, unless the deal was extended. Now, the deal could have been extended with like other things to help Sony be able to use Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but up to this point, there was the whole big deal last year when, or was it year before or whatever it was, when Amy Pascal said they're in the same universe, but they're adjacent to, and all this kind of stuff, where she tried to like make it sound like they're in the same universe, and then Kevin Feige come out and said, no, they're not in the same universe. But now he's saying this, so something's changed.
It was drunk Amy. Come on,
yeah,
can't trust her.
Money or something legal would be my guess.
Did you see the new Audi ad for Spider-Man Far From Home?
No.
It's actually pretty good. Him and Ned go to the science fair, and he has to ask Shield for the new Audi e-tron or whatever it is. Oh yeah, this is car is based on the electric motor that we built, and they get a B. So the kid who won built a potato arc reactor. So it's actually pretty funny, yeah.
Oh, I should watch that. I always like the promotional stuff they do.
I didn't realize the second one was so close to coming out. I knew that was sometime in 2019.
Like 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to see that. I thought the first
What we can hope with this with Marvel re-releasing Endgame, maybe all the stuff that's added is going to be Spider-Man related, and it'll help feed them.
Love that.
Far From Home.
Like, that'd be nice. I don't know how much more they could add for him though, because he's in such a tiny little bit of it. I've
been hearing some early reviews. A couple people have gotten to see it, getting pretty good reviews. Jake Gyllenhaal's getting a lot of praise. They said that they explained perfectly how things work after the snap. Good. So maybe we'll have something to feed into that, because everybody's like, well, how are all his friends the same age as him if they, blah, blah, blah. Obviously they were all probably in the snap. That's part of it.
I know I was overthink this, but when I saw that and they all come back as same age, I always wonder, I'm like, what if your wife moved on, like married someone else, and you come back? Like,
that's what
from what I gathered, they're supposed to discuss that, or that's covered in.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know the specifics, but
I love this, and it makes sense that that the little group of kids might have been snapped away as well, because it's 1 in every 2 people, right? So half the kids from his class theoretically would have been snapped away. So it's perfectly fine. It certainly fits within continuity to say, okay, so MJ was snapped away, so Flash was snapped away. So it makes sense, and it's fine to me. And I just there was a new scene that dropped for it too today. I think it was either today or yesterday. It dropped for it that I shot a reaction to, and oh my god, it was so good. So good. Jake Gyllenhaal killed it.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's what I've been hearing from everybody that has seen it already. It's said Jake Gyllenhaal.
Are they saying how much longer how much additional time of footage would be in this additional?
I think 5 minutes is what Tyler said. Did you have anything for that, or are you just saying that out of your ass?
I pulled that out of my ass. I'm gonna check for an actual time.
I thought you actually seen something somewhere.
I thought I read something about a post-credit scene or an actual post-credit scene.
Oh, yeah. So I guess we don't have any specifics right now, unless somebody else knows.
Let me check. Avengers new run.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Far From Home. I liked it. Did you see Venom, Dave?
I did not.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I liked it. I quite liked it. I thought it was fun.
My only issue with it is if they're going to tie it into Spider-Man, they should have tied it in this one. And I knew something was up when they were like, oh, no, it was always going to be per PG-13. It's like bullshit. Anybody with Google can go see that you guys were talking about making it R for an entire year. Even Tom Hardy's like, oh, my favorite parts were cut out.
Yeah,
Well,
Ruben Fleischer flat out said, I'm like, the character is very mature, so we have to write around that. It will have to be violent. Like, I know what that means.
It was a pretty violent movie, all things considered. Pretty gory at moments. I don't know. I don't have much.
7 minutes. It's a 7-minute increase.
oh, wow. Okay. Well, depends on how they do it. If it's like one big chunked scene or if it's spread out, it can make a difference too. Because like if you
the description reveals that the tribute will be for none other than Stan Lee, apparently.
Okay.
And because I mean, like the first Lord of the Rings extended edition only has like 10 or 15 minutes added to it, but it feels like so much more because it's all spread out throughout the movie. And it shifts the tone. Then when you get to the second and third ones, when they added like 20, 30 minutes to the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like spreading it out is the way to go, though, because then, like, if you're like you look into it ahead of time and say, oh, they're adding 5 minutes, and then you see a 5-minute clip within the first hour, you're like, oh, that's it. Now I know the rest. Even if you watch the rest, but if you still don't know what's coming 2 hours in, it will still keep you engaged, even if you saw it already.
Return of the King got the most of an increase. I mean, Jesus Christ, wasn't that like half an hour of more footage?
30 or 35 minutes, yeah, it was. Well, that had an entire sequence that got cut out of the original version.
To this day, I will never understand who said, yeah, cut out all this stuff with Saruman at the beginning. We don't need that. I'm like, what?
Because he doesn't really play a part in the plot after. I get why it was cut out.
But it's a massive plot hole, and it's a well-made scene. I like it. It's
to a point, yes. But you have Gandalf going, oh, his power is no use or whatever anymore. So it's like, okay, we're just going to write him out now. Move on.
We want to become the Wheel of Fortune guy in Middle Earth. No one cares.
But anyhow, let's move on to the main story, Rob, that I sent you in the chat because I totally forgot to add that with the other stuff because I wasn't sure if you were going to get a rant. Yeah, the Michelle Rejwan or Rejwan, however you say it.
Rejwan.
Is it Rejwan or Rejwan?
I don't know.
I'm writing a rant.
I'm willing to bet nobody fucking knows because she doesn't even have her own wiki, folks.
Nope. She's got what, 6 credits on IMDb?
Now I've been toying with OBS. Now, should I try to clip this? Maybe we could make it its own thing.
Yeah,
for people.
Well, it could be Rob's rambling, I guess, or whatever. Yeah, but I wanted you to do a full-on rant.
Believe me, this wouldn't stop me from ranting.
I want to even get in on that one. So,
okay, hold on. Let me just make a note of the time. Okay,
I was like, clip it. Just clip it. I recorded an OBS and clip it just in case.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, I tried doing this myself last night, and I just don't have the charisma that Rob has. So,
that means we throw dollar bills at Rob to get on camera and take it off and shake it for us.
Well, it's a super chat yet, I don't think.
Yeah, you guys don't remember the rule. Brawless bounce for $100 super chats. Come on.
It's Vegas practice, man.
Dave needs to see this.
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone knows this is a thing.
If that happens, oh no.
I like Rob, but I am leaving if that happens.
No, I'm not subjected to that, at least not outside of trivia. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit start in 3, 2. Okay, so now Lucasfilm named Star Wars Rise of Skywalker producer Michelle Rejwan, and Michelle, as Senior Vice President of Live Action Development and Production. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, the devil incarnate, that's my adding that, has named Michelle Rejwan as Senior VP of Live Action Development and Production of Lucasfilm. Rejwan is producer of the upcoming Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker and was a co-producer on 2015's The Star Wars Force Awakens and also co-producer on Bad Robots Picks Star Trek Into Darkness and associate producer on his 2011 movie Super 8. So she's a J.J. Abrams disciple.
What that doesn't say, though, is that she was J.J. Abrams' assistant before that. I'm sensing a pattern here, Rob. Are you?
So KK gets coffee for Spielberg. She gets coffee for JJ.
Yeah. That rhymes, too.
For God's sake. Rejwan will oversee the new slate of feature films episodic series for Lucasfilm and Disney Plus, and continue to produce with Kathleen Kennedy as Star Wars franchise is built out. Built out from what? Okay. And this is from Kathleen Kennedy herself. Working with Michelle over the last 7 years as producer on both The Force Awakens and now The Rise of Skywalker, I have seen firsthand her skills collaborating with writers and directors, and I've been incredibly impressed with her creative skills and her ability to manage the complexity of surrounding these massive projects, says Kennedy. I know the importance of building a team that you trust and have fun working with. It's paramount to our success. There's an exciting momentum building around the future of the franchise, and both myself and the Lucasfilm team are looking forward to working with Michelle in shaping the future in all areas of story development, from theatrical film development to live action content for Disney Plus. Rise of Skywalker opens December 20th. Okay, I'm going to point out something very important in all this. There's one word I did not see in that big spew of BS. And what was that word? Fan! Where does it say she's a Star Wars fan? She's not. She's another functionary. What? I don't. More upward failing from these people.
Well, let's just say for the sake of argument that she is a fan. She has no experience. They just basically put her in charge of the biggest single film franchise in the galaxy. Well, at least it was until Marvel.
I don't get it, though. I don't get. She's just looking for. Kathleen Kennedy looks for people to stand in for herself. That's all she really does.
Well, I'm not even sure if Kathleen Kennedy has anything to do with this. She may be saying that on paper. But let's look at the timing of these events.
You think Alan Horn, Bob Iger said hire her?
No, I think this has more to do with JJ. Look at all this. This is all corresponding with JJ getting his deal at Warner Brothers, Kurtzman's news, this news, and they're all connected to one person. Now, who was that one person that we said that Bob Iger asked initially to take over Star Wars?
J.J. Abrams.
I don't know about you, but I think things are kind of falling into place for me.
So it's pretty much J.J. Abrams by proxy, really.
He's sticking his hooks into every goddamn thing he can.
And for the people who are going to say, Kathleen Kennedy learned from Steven Spielberg. She knows what she's doing, and she learned from J.J. Abrams. Yeah, you know who else who learned from J.J. Abrams? Alex Kurtzman.
Oh boy.
Bob Orsi.
Yeah.
Bob Orsi. Who else? Probably tons of other people.
Goldsman,
Paradise.
maybe?
Kiva Goldsman.
Not Roundhead.
Well,
No,
Akiva
but
was
he's
kind of
happy.
established before that, but what has Akiva done since he won his Oscar? That's the question.
Slumming it.
And JJ, of course, is Spielberg's golden boy. So it's like basically Spielberg Jr. going around saying, I want to do this, you do that, and you're going to just, and they're just going to listen and take it. I'm not saying that Kathy didn't pick her. Kathy very well could have picked her. Why? Because, like you just said, she sees the junior version of herself. Mm-hmm. So it could very well be that as well. And JJ could have had no influence on it whatsoever. But all this just seems coincidental.
Do we think that she's grooming her at all for the position?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's definitely grooming her.
We got to read between the lines. This is basically the same fucking story we're hearing over with Kurtzman over on the other side. But Michelle Paradise is his insert over there. Insert her over here to take over Kathy. We all knew Kathy was going to get the boot. Yeah, she's technically going to be there till 2021, but how much more damage can she really do between now and then?
Plenty.
Well, when you fuck up something 100%, can you do more than that?
But let's just say, let me put it this way then, a better way of putting it. How much is supposed to actually be out between now and then that she hasn't already been a part of?
No more movies.
Yeah, I think she's off of the movies. Like she's essentially, they're going to end this trilogy, and then that's going to be it. And then after that, KK's gone, basically.
Well, yeah, she's on the Indiana Jones movie in episode 9.
This is basically their way of announcing that this woman did what KK's job would have been on the Rise of Skywalker. She has been the one in charge. She's going to be the one in charge. The buck stops with her, basically. Yeah, it's a senior vice president role. Yeah, technically KK's still above her, but if you think KK's doing anything, then you're cray cray. So,
and also you're cray cray if you think this woman's qualified. She was just a producer on 2 movies.
Well, yeah, let's get into that
on 2
here now, guys, because we're just qualified almost as this lady is. Yeah, granted, we haven't been a part of these other things, but what has she really done to deserve this?
Let me go over her entire IMDb page. It's literally like 10 things.
We already did. Rob read it.
She was in a documentary for the making of the movie. She was apparently an additional voice in
being either JJ's assistant or an executive producer on something he did.
And she was a voice actress in the Lego movie. Ooh.
Well, no, not the Lego movie, the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens video game.
Yeah, it's because she played a character in the Force Awakens, so she probably played the same exact character.
It's a background character, I think.
Yeah.
See, look, even Dave looks bored by this news.
Co-producer of Into Darkness, documentary on the Darkness. Co-producer on the Force Awakens.
Well,
something called Monster Challenge.
Thing is when I went to look this chick up to see who she is, what she's done, she doesn't even have a wiki. The most you can get on her is what's on her IMDb. She could have wrote that.
Assistant for 5 episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm, something called Morning Glory, Ghost Protocol, Force Awakens to get additional voices, and then casting assistant, 6 episodes of The Office, casting assistant, 40-Year-Old Virgin, casting assistant, 1 episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's it. That's all she ever did.
Just like Kennedy was to Spielberg, at least Kennedy had produced 20 plus odd fucking movies or better by the time Lucas said, "Oh, why don't you come run my studio for me?"
Well, it's still okay. How long do you spend on set for a movie, right? These are all episodes of TV shows. She worked for like 10 weeks on these TV shows that she was on.
Yeah. How much
10 weeks
of casting
assistant? Casting assistant, 10 weeks of experience.
Right? It's not even the main caster. It's just like the assistant to the cast.
Yeah. To be fair, though, she didn't have anything to do with The Last Jedi, right? Now, that obviously doesn't mean that she won't screw it up just as bad. But to be fair, she seems to be pretty far removed from some of the stuff that we've hated the most.
She wasn't an executive on The Last Jedi? I thought she was.
No, she was not. Just she produced their biggest credit is producer for the new movie.
Yeah. So she comes out of nowhere working as a casting assistant and an actress or whatever for there's just
background voice extra and a few casting
how long do these jobs work? So when you're working on a film set, one film will be 3 months of your life working on it or more, right? When you do like a TV show, that's a week. That's a week. You show up, you work, you stand around in the background, you do your thing, and that's it. This is like giving somebody the keys to the Ferrari when they've driven, an automatic for about a half an hour.
Not to be boastful, but I actually have more credits on IMDb. I'm not even shitting you. Literally, type my name into IMDb. Apparently, for some reason, my name shows up because I produce a couple of videos for a YouTube guy I like.
Well, okay. Dave, any opinion on this since you're the guest?
Well, all of you know way more about this than I do, but I fully agree on a high level that there's a trend in general, and this is a big example of people getting jobs for wrong reasons. Not that you will do well here, you will make a good version of keeping a ages-old franchise alive, but this other reason, you're a friend or whoever, or will just randomly picking you for something other than the fact that you're going to do something quality and deliver something the fans will like. Sadly, it's too common, and like you said, this is the biggest franchise out there, and they don't even care that they're just keeping it going for the sake of keeping it going rather than for the sake of trying to keep it good, even though it's past 40 years going now. They could, but money and other factors seem to be way more important, and sadly that's just the Hollywood way.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got much more to say about this. So
I mean, like I was kind of saying, I mean, it could be that KK picked it, but it looks more like JJ's the one that's a part of this. This all seems very coincidental timing. If what we heard is true, this makes sense. This was who JJ put up as, the person to do this job.
I think part of this is JJ Abrams recommended her. If you're gonna hire anybody, Michelle's your gal, you know. Oh yeah, she'll do. She'll do a great job. Don't worry. And you know,
This is
what
her
if Kathleen Kennedy
present. Yeah.
What if Kathleen Kennedy's throwing a lit match behind her, walking out the door, blow up the whole thing?
Blow it right the heck up. I wouldn't put it past her, honestly.
No, Kathleen Kennedy doesn't care about Star Wars. If she did, we would get good Star Wars.
Does she care about indie though?
No.
It's a white male. Of course, she doesn't care about indie.
No. This whole thing is one giant gag to her. Like, she's on her way out. She couldn't care less. Handpicking someone is not a sign of her giving a damn about the stuff. It's a sign of her basically going, "Oh, I can find a way to further my politics."
I wonder the moment when she leaves, George is going to come up and say, "Well, you know, I never really had that much faith in her, and I never approved of her as Star Wars head, and I feel vindicated now."
No,
I would say no, but Lucas isn't above saying something stupid.
Oh, yeah, that. White slavery, or that's a big comment.
I'm not sticking up for KK. I really don't think she is genuinely out there going, "I want to destroy Star Wars. I want to piss off the fans." Now, do I think that she's interjecting some of her personal politics, whether it's consciously or subconsciously? Yes. Do I agree with what Robert Burnett says, that we shouldn't blame her for anything that's going on with Star Wars? No. I mean, I know I'm kind of generalizing what he said, but let's face it. The buck stops with somebody. Somebody has to make the choices. She's the one who's made those choices, made mistakes. Yes, she's fixed some of them with Rogue One, but you can pretty much say that she came to the party late when she learned during Solo she's got to get seasoned veterans to do this game. And Rian Johnson is not a seasoned veteran, for instance. Gareth Edwards is not a seasoned veteran.
No.
Even Trevorrow is not a seasoned veteran. And he's the only one of these directors so far that we've heard from that seemed like they actually had any passion, desire, drive, and care for this franchise to the point where either he was fired over it or walked away because of it. And we know it mainly had to do with the treatment of Luke.
Well, she wanted people that were inexperienced and she could underpay. Is what
she
it
was
is.
Trying to do the Marvel thing, yes.
I still stand by that Book of Henry movie probably hurt his chance, though.
Fine, well, I don't think so.
That took away his power, yeah.
You know, she wanted up and coming directors that she could probably get cheap before they broke big, and she got J.J. Abrams, who was like would you call it J.J. proven?
He's more of a veteran. He was the right direction. As much as you love or hate J.J., and this is what we've said a million times about this. Why do they keep turning to J.J.? Because he's the only one who made the most successful Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even bigger than the first original films, money-wise.
Then she went to Gareth Edwards, and then, like I said, the guy he
directed up. Yeah. Who they bring in?
Tony Gilroy.
Tony Gilroy. Yeah, and she's got a habit of bringing people in to clean up people's messes.
Right. If you're gonna bring in fucking Opie Cunningham to pick up the mess, you should have brought him in to begin with. Yeah. If you didn't know what you were getting into with Lord and Miller, then you shouldn't have got into it in the first place. And this is where I really differ with Robert Meyer Burnett on this. And we just have a difference of opinion. Doesn't mean I dislike him or think he's dumb or anything like that. I'm just saying she should have known before the movie started what she was getting into with Lord and Miller.
Well,
period.
Had she never watched any other movies?
A lot of this could have been avoided in the first place if they'd bothered to do one very simple thing, and that is just write out a story treatment for a trilogy.
And yes. I think they did. JJ said he did, or I mean, should I say Simon Pegg and Daisy Ridley have both said there was, yes.
Set in stone.
And Ryan threw it out with the blessing of fucking Kathleen Kennedy, basically.
Ryan, I trust you to do a good job, whatever you want to do. It's okay with me, Ryan. You know,
that's a mistake putting these movies 2 years apart. 3 years is the space between the other trilogies, and if you're going to have different directors, different writers come in, you need to be able to give them time to breathe, be able to work with what's been given already, unless you're going to start the whole idea from the start and say, look, here is your guidelines by what you have to go by, otherwise go ahead and play. Then if that's the case, fine. But they didn't do that. They let Ryan come in without even seeing the fucking movie, only reading the script, and wrote his own script on the first fucking draft, and touted that like he was proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, looks like you got something. You Star Wars fan, Dave?
I was about to ask
Not
Dave.
really. No,
Dave, what did you saw the Last Jedi, right?
Sorry?
You saw the Last Jedi, right?
I saw Force Awakens and Solo. I don't know how much.
Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, consider yourself very lucky. Way to
I
dodge
didn't hear
a
much
bullet, man.
praise for it.
Way to dodge
Sorry,
a
man.
bullet. Proud of you.
Yeah, I heard mostly negative stuff, so I wasn't really motivated. But I think to one of the points you're making earlier, and kind of what Rob was saying, I don't think the people they bring in, these inexperienced people, I don't think they come in deliberately trying to deliver something bad or undermine things. They're not qualified. But sometimes unqualified people get jobs and do what they think is best for the position they've got and what little knowledge they have, not realizing, well, this isn't the best way to do this. They have little experience or experience that doesn't really apply for what you'd want, for what applies as far as making something fans would like and is true to the history. I don't think it's like deliberate on the part of who gets the jobs. It's just a question of why are the Abrams and Lucas and whoever allowing these people to take the jobs if they know what's going to happen.
Well,
and they have a different agenda. They have a different agenda than Star Wars, I think is, I would agree with you that I don't think there was any deliberate sort of desire to actually do harm to Star Wars per se, but I don't think there was any measure of attempts taken to avoid it. Like you had someone like Mark Hamill on set telling you, this is not going to fly with fans. I'm telling you, this isn't going to work. You're going to tick people off, and to literally ignore that and continue with what it is that you think is more important, your agenda. If your agenda is not Star Wars and you are crafting a Star Wars film, there is a problem, a big problem, and that translates to the film.
I'm going to go off of what Rob and Dave were saying there real quick. I don't think you're wrong in a sense that I think Kathy, and even what Mary was just saying to a point, and not to stick up for Kathy again or anything like that. The era she comes from the Maverick director era, the Visionaries. She's worked with a lot of these guys. So I see what she's doing. She's trying to get these young and up-and-coming visionaries like a Spielberg, like a Lucas, like a Scorsese to do these, but they're not Star Wars visionaries. Lucas was the Star Wars visionary. It was his vision. Yeah, he had a lot of help on the outside of it. But these guys are not George fucking Lucas. They're not the guys who made the original vision. So they're going to come in just like any fanboy and play in the sandbox like a fanboy would. And like Rob and I keep expressing, we don't like fan theories. We don't like this stuff for that very reason, because it's not about, what we wanted or expected out of the movie. It's whether or not it makes sense story-wise, whether the characters are treated with respect and all that kind of stuff. My problem with The Last Jedi beyond like Luke and stuff like that was that every single character that was introduced in the The Force Awakens doesn't even follow their own character arc or character storyline from the first movie. They're like completely new characters. Yeah. And that's because Ryan Roundhead didn't pay attention and didn't give a shit. And they're just, like Rob always says, they're just, pieces to be moved around on a board for his bidding to do whatever he needs to do because plot, not because this is what's important to the story right now.
But does the problem we're looking for visionaries? I mean, could you describe anybody nowadays as a big visionary like Scorsese?
Nolan. No, Christopher Nolan. I'll give him that. I didn't like Interstellar, but Christopher Nolan, pound for pound, is probably the closest thing you're going to get to anything like a Spielberg, a Lucas, a Scorsese, De Palma. That's the only guy right now that I can hold, a Tarantino. But he's been around since the 90s, so they don't count.
Neither of those people really kind of go for a franchise, though, after, Dark Knight Rises.
No, they're not franchise guys, and neither was Spielberg. Neither was Lucas. People fucking forget
about wanting a visionary, and I get that. But here's the problem with that: is that, like you said, and you've laid it out very, very plainly for everyone. Look, like these people are not George Lucas, right? And it's going to be very difficult to find someone to bring something brand new to life on the screen that's going to hit his home, going to hit as close to home as George Lucas was able to do. But you had this stuff gift wrapped for you. Lucasfilm had this stuff gift wrapped on the table, laid out in front of them, All they had to do was adapt it and put it on the screen. You didn't need a visionary. You just needed someone with some sense in their damn head on how to put it on the screen. It didn't.
Right.
You didn't have to remake the wheel here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to finish my point real quick, I was going to say, George Lucas didn't even make Star Wars because he wanted to. American Graffiti and Star Wars were made on a bet with Francis Ford Coppola that George Lucas could not make a movie that wasn't THX 1138 or Zizzy Zazzy Bingy Bongy bullshit that nobody wants to fucking see because he bankrupted Zoetrope Studios. That's why. So he's like, go make me a fucking comedy. Go make me a kids movie. Make me something I can fucking sell. Because he lost their entire fucking deal with Warner Brothers over that movie. George Lucas lost that entire deal for that studio.
That's why no one accepted him when he went pitching the movie. They went, "Aren't you the guy who did that THX movie?" Nah.
Yeah. And American Graffiti is what saved his ass. If it wasn't for American Graffiti, we wouldn't have any of that shit. George Lucas would be a nobody, wannabe Andy Warhol movie making kind of guy.
No Harrison Ford either, because he was just some guy that showed up that he just went, "Yeah, you're in the movie now."
He was a carpenter.
Well, I haven't got too much to say about this.
So, I mean, basically, yeah, like what Mary's saying, though, you need a visionary like a Kevin Feige who can oversee this universe like it's a TV show. And this is what Andre and I keep expressing to people. You can't get visionary directors to come in and try and do these things unless they're going to work within the parameters. That's why we never got to see Edgar Wright's Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm. The problem is producers in Hollywood nowadays, when they say visionary, they think grab an indie director that did a good movie and then promote him to blockbuster. Sometimes that works like James Gunn, and sometimes it just fails miserably like Mark Webb.
And we just said two more visionary directors that I will throw in the mix. And I'll throw a third one in there too. And that is Edgar Wright, James Gunn, and Taika Waititi. But those last two names were able to work within Marvel's, guidelines. But Edgar Wright wasn't. And they tried for almost a decade to make that work. Check out our video on it on the main channel. We get really into it. And you can kind of see by the end, it was like, this was just not going to work between these two. The marriage was not going to work. Edgar Wright wanted to make an Edgar Wright movie. And that was not going to fit in the MCU. So
he's still pissed about it too.
No Tommy Wiseau? No.
Visionary, yeah.
Or Tommy Wiseau. How could we forget?
Hey, I like his movies better than Rian Johnson's.
They're not dull.
That's true.
They're more entertaining. I'm sorry.
All right. I haven't got.
So we have one more story, I think, to get through to squeeze in here, wasn't it? Or are we gonna? Yeah, we got to do this one. We just had a watch party the other night, and we jinxed ourselves, Rob. Tell everybody what the watch party was, and I'm assuming Dave's got to be a fan of this film.
Back to School
with Rodney Dangerfield. Yes,
I've seen it. What's the story?
Well, we did a watch party and we said, "Oh, you could not remake this movie now."
No.
Boy,
why did you say that?
Well, just because of how un-PC it was at the time, and with all the college scandals, because that's kind of it's like, see, this is why I wasn't surprised by rich people paying to get their kids into college. This is nothing new. Hollywood's been doing the same shtick for years. All you do is you make a big donation, you get yourself or your kid into college. That's how it works, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
How many kids are walking around Yale University right now that their mom and dad bought their way into just donate a research hospital.
Yeah.
Ask our president.
Handball scholarship.
Handball.
Yeah.
Got a handball team?
Yeah.
Probably. It's Yale.
That's the dean's favorite game. Oh, not that one.
Wash. MGM to adapt Rodney Dangerfield comedy Back to School as unscripted series.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, reality series.
No.
Rodney Dangerfield may finally be getting some respect in the halls of higher education. MGM Television is developing a docu-series inspired by the 1986 film Back to School, in which the comedian's character, millionaire Thornton Mellon, enrolls in college with his son to keep him from dropping out. In typical Dangerfield fashion, he triggers a series of comedic mishaps on campus. The movie, well loved among Dangerfield fans, also features a young Robert Downey Jr. and cameos from Oingo Boingo and Kurt Vonnegut. The docu-series will follow college students with their surprise new classmates, their parents, both children and parents will experience the best years of their life together, but at vastly different ages.
Wait, a
Surely,
minute. They credited Kurt Vonnegut, but not Sam? Are you shitting me? Who wrote this article?
Yeah, well, imagine that. Yeah, because nobody knows who he is now but Rob and I and anybody who listens to this show.
No.
You just know Hollywood's going to get Jack Black to play that role.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm not totally against this how they're doing it because it's going to be a reality show where obviously they're getting real people going back to college. So whatever, it's not technically a remake.
Well, but they'll call it this.
Of course.
Just to cash in on the name because of what Rob and I said the other night. We couldn't believe that the original movie made $91 million in 86. And we did the movie math and the inflation, it was like almost a $200 million comedy in 1986. It's crazy.
Well, the docuseries, okay, about geriatric beer pong, mismatched doormates, fraternity brothers with your dad, sorry sisters with your mom. I'm so excited to take the premise of one of my favorite films into the unscripted world, said Barry Posnick, MGM's president of unscripted television. Rodney Dangerfield.
Name, yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield was a comedic genius, and his spirit is very much in the DNA of our show's approach to a dual fish out of water comedic format for audiences to experience along with our parents and kids. I love that grown-ups are going back to school, and we are able to capture this with our new series. MGM television chief Mark Burnett and Posnick will executive produce the series along with Joan Dangerfield, the comedian's widow, for MGM Television, which will distribute the series internationally. Rodney Dangerfield, known for his catchphrase, "I don't get no respect," died in 2004 at the age of 82.
Which widow? How many times was he married? I'm going to say she's probably like a 20-year-old one or whatever.
Probably the one he was with at the end.
I remember when Rodney went into the hospital for his procedure. He called into Howard Stern a couple of days earlier. Yeah, I'm going to be in the hospital. We have a procedure. If everything goes well, I'll be there for 3 weeks. If not, I'll be there an hour and a half.
I miss Rodney.
Regrets that I didn't get to see him live.
Right.
I got to see him. 1991, December 1991. I saw him.
Oh, I'm jealous. Well, I got to see George Carlin though.
Fuck too, yeah. Mm-hmm. Bet you that was a concert.
He was married 3 times, and the last wife was born in 1953.
Oh, that ain't so bad.
Yeah, he only did about 35 minutes of material though.
Yeah.
Well, that was usually like a shtick because didn't he always have like a half a dozen other comedians with him?
Oh, sorry. Actually, he married 3. He married the same person and then divorced them, then remarried, then divorced her, and then married this girl.
And this is the one that got control of everything, right?
Probably.
I was taking it for a test drive. What do you want from me?
Isn't that how it works?
You got to drive around the block a few times, then you trade her in, then you regret it, then you go back to the dealership and you get one just like her. Hey.
Ask John Lennon's first wife how that shit works out.
Yeah, she's still pissed beyond the grave.
Is she still living?
No, she died a couple years back.
Cynthia's still alive.
No, she's dead.
She's dead?
Cynthia's dead.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure she's dead. Died 2015.
Oh, wow. I didn't even hear that.
75.
That's too bad.
Cancer. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, we're past all the news. Now, this is the fun part for Dave. Sorry about all that, Dave. All right. Have fun with our guest. Tell everybody about our guest, especially for those who are just joining us late.
Yes. Dave Sheehan, comedian, actor, improvisational comic, carpenter, roofer.
Is he a daytime Emmy winner like Mecca is?
Night Templar. I don't know, whatever else he does.
Winner on the dating game.
Yes.
Maybe 2 of those are accurate.
Hey, you're good for spitballing.
Rob knows me pretty well.
Professional butcher.
Yeah, yes, butcher. Yeah, specializes in wholesale meats. Yes, you get some good meats from Dave. So, Dave, tell them about yourself and tell them about where the people can find you.
You just did. I can't top that.
I don't know.
I work in IT. That's not exciting. I've been doing stand-up comedy for more than 15 years in the Connecticut area of the world. I should have a website, but I don't. But I have a Facebook presence. I'm on Instagram as Shroud of Silence. I'm on Twitter, but I use it about once every 3 years, so don't look for me there. Anything else I can add?
No, it looks like you're in a secret room in the Pentagon right there with the drop ceiling.
I can't disclose anything about where I'm sitting.
Where are they keeping the aliens?
So you're the new
Again,
Secretary
I
of
can't
Defense.
disclose this. What was the
Yeah,
last question, Tyler?
You're the new
Dave-
Secretary of Defense.
Yes.
No, I can say I'm not.
Okay. So anyway, as always, so are we rapping right now, or and I'm not talking about the cool, yeah, not that kind of rapping. Yeah, I'm too white.
Look at me.
We need Will Smith for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
he's
okay.
whiter than all of us.
Henry.
If-
No, I figured you just want to talk to Dave a little bit since we haven't really got to talk to him too much during the show because we had so much damn news to cover.
I talk to Dave all the time. It's
Well, you brought him on the show so you guys could have some fun. Hey.
Well, I did. I know I couldn't contribute too much to some of the stories you brought up, but I'm glad to be here. I had a good time. I weighed in where I could, but I don't know as much about certain things as you guys did. But hopefully, you enjoyed having me. I enjoyed being here.
Well, we're happy to have you, especially back again sometime when you can actually talk more. I know this was kind of a poor time because of all the news.
Did we mention the thing about Adam Sandler today?
Oh, yeah, in the news. Zippity doo.
Yeah, apparently his new Netflix movie had like 30 million views, and Netflix is like, yeah, this is a big hit. We're gonna have more and more movies with him.
Well, they have a
Oh!
contract with him, don't they?
I actually
Yeah,
thought it
but
was funny. I saw the movie. I thought it was funny.
That's right.
Really?
My movies are funny all the time. They're funny. Oh, you got lots of funny there. Zippity doo.
He has
they have a contract, but I think they're extending it now.
It was with him
Why
and
wouldn't they?
Jennifer Aniston, right? Is that the one you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
murder mystery one, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like the chemistry between the two of them was really good. I thought it was a good movie, a lot of fun, silly, but fun.
He specializes in that. So anyway,
Woodward wants to know how you and Dave met, Rob.
Oh,
Uh,
boy.
Dave,
Prison.
I actually gave up my seat for Dave on the Titanic.
Yeah, I was the cello player. It was a hell of a night.
So no, actually,
Have
we
you been
met
in more prestigious things than you have, Rob? As far
So
as
you tell me you push Leo out of the way and get a seat for him.
Yeah.
Well, who
so-
wouldn't? That scrawny little. Wait, all right. No, we actually met at a bar, and my trivia team recruited him. That was like 15 years ago, and we are
he
still.
he
Go ahead.
can't get rid of me. So that's
Well, I haven't tried.
yeah. Dave always leaves a trail of breadcrumbs, so I always know how to find him.
Well, sometimes a slime trail.
Trivia murder party.
Mm.
How would that work?
That's a
Oh,
Jack-
it's a game I've been playing with Rob.
How does it work?
So you just answer multiple choice trivia questions. It's something I do over on my channel through Jackbox, and yeah, you answer the question right or you die, and it's great.
You get sawed.
Yeah, you can get sawed in half, or you can get sawed, or you have to cut off a pinky. You have to play little mini games like pick which cup the poison's in to live, or you don't automatically die.
so I don't play anymore.
Sounds like the escape room of death.
Kind of.
I tried once, and I died the first guy.
So
I like it
okay.
because Rob's one of the few people who actually is like, a
Good.
little better than me. Because I got tired of winning all the time.
Oh, the problem some people have.
First world problems, girl.
If you beat her, she gets the riding crop.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got a
So-
little cranky the other night at Tom and Proper, both screwing me in the same way and not in a way that I enjoyed.
From both directions.
It wasn't on purpose on my part. I can't
No, I believe you guys. I was just sitting
Wait,
there.
what
I even
happened?
switched out my mouse since then, if that tells you anything, because that other one, I'm not trusting it anymore.
I'll
So-
never trust you again. You broke my heart.
Wait,
Tom.
what happened, Mary, on the stream?
Oh, it was
I fucked up and hit the wrong thing, and I was supposed to go out with Mary.
Well, and Monster Seeking Monster.
He lied to me. And then Proper did the exact same thing like 2 rounds later. And I was like,
Well,
well,
like I said, if you thought we were just screwing with you, then I would have actually picked him instead. So
you and Proper were sitting there texting one another. We're gonna get married tonight.
no, I don't roll like that. It'd be me and Mecca doing that. Yeah.
Oh, right.
We're gonna get her. We're gonna get
It
her.
was funny. It was funny though. It was a funny thing to happen. So
So what was
And
it,
that's
like
because
an
I'm
online
be like,
version of
well,
The
we're in
Bachelor?
competition. The only thing we can do is team up. Sorry, what'd you say, Dave?
So what was this though? Like an online version of The Bachelorette? I think I missed a step.
It's kind of like that. It's one of the games on Mecca's thing, but you're basically monsters at a monster ball where you hook up for the night. Yeah. And there's like so many nights to the game, and there's you have different goals as different monsters to either date so many people or whatever, stop people from dating other people. And yeah.
It's frequently
I'm-
embarrassing.
And I'm glad it.
It sounds like something that a lot of people today would be into, though. Like especially if you get a handball scholarship to Yale.
Yeah. Well, I did, and that didn't work out too well for me.
I always say, you know, what's the what's the sales pitch for this type of game? Hey, you know all the worst parts about dating, the unanswered texts, the ghosting, the rejection. We've got them all in game form.
See, I don't look at it that
You
way.
also
I just
forgot
look
the
at
part
it-
where you find out your girlfriend's a whore and doesn't like you.
No, I
Also, like a serial killer, you know, that happens too.
You sound like you
no,
got
I
some
just use it.
Tyler.
I just use it as
She knows who
the-
she is.
I just use it as a chance to make the most flirtatious, ridiculous sexual comments and make people blush.
it is funny. It is quite funny. The
We
back
do that
and
to
forth.
people anyway.
Mhm.
The back and
Where's the
forth
challenge?
is very entertaining.
Rob's just a party pooper when it comes to that.
Just mute the mic and just, you know, everybody just go about their way.
He goes and looks. It's like, dude, you flirting with real women. No, you're over there.
Come on, beat.
Yeah, what Sadie just said.
All right, Sadie's got to go.
Okay, I gotta say this. The one time I played that game, the general chat kept saying stuff like, "I'm your aunt, bend over, please."
Yes, Tyler has a very provocative aunt, so we'll get into that another time. All right, all right. Unfortunately, Mary's a little bit under the weather, so we'll hope you feel better soon, Mary. So we're gonna wrap it up right here. You like what we do? Like, subscribe, click the bell icon so you're notified of all the latest notifications. So head over to the main channel, like, subscribe, click the bell icon over there, and that way you're notified of all the latest notifications over there. Head over to Patreon. Patreon supporters get all kinds of bonuses, bloopers, outtakes, lost episodes, behind the edge making videos anymore, my 10-minute stand-up set from the Zen Bar, and more. You can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. And if you don't have the means to do that, like, subscribe, share the videos, because we cannot do this without you. We also have Subscribe Star, and we have Patreon. You can send us money directly, because we like money. So, Tom, tell them about the GoFundMe.
Help send Rob and I to Vegas. I will get the link in the description so you guys can help us with that.
You
Donate
have
whatever
to.
you
You have to, so they can protect me in Vegas.
Yeah, we got to protect Mecca.
Mhm.
So I
It's
can-
more just, yeah, obviously what we're asking for isn't going to cover much, but it's just going to help out with the expenses a little bit. So
Yeah. And so I could throw Mecca into the fountain at the Bellagio. I mean, she I wasn't thinking about it until she mentioned it. So that's
So you want to make her wet?
I was about to say, so you're gonna get Mecca wet. Can I help?
trust
Get
us,
him,
because
Sadie.
what we're asking for over there won't even cover like the tickets and stuff. So
get him, Sadie. Get him.
It's what, strip club chump change?
Yeah.
Mecca,
Well,
brother,
Andre
I
said
didn't
he got a
pop
couple.
off on a candy in Vegas.
All right. Okay. Well, okay. Mecca, tell them about your channel.
I
She
am
said,
Mecca.
bring it.
I'm Mecca Red at 42, and yes, I'm going to be bringing the riding crops to Vegas. I complain about Star Wars, Star Trek, all this stupid nonsense bullshit in Hollywood, and I rant and I jiggle. Watch me, or else.
Okay. Mary, tell them about your channel.
Well, hi guys, I am Mary B. I am the Mistress of Mayhem and a little bit under the weather as we speak. But that does not stop me from disrupting the narrative and being an official Whammon card holder. You can find me over on my channel where we talk about newsy news stuff during the weekdays. And then on the weekends, we have our comedy shows, Shenanigans. We do a little karaoke where you can find Miranda being a dual threat with her guitar and her beautiful voice. Rob and Tom both filling in all of the laughs. They just keep me rolling all of the time. And yeah, we have a lot of fun over on my channel. So yeah, come subscribe to me. I would love it.
And she's a very lovely lady, so give her the time.
Tyler, tell them about yourself.
I'm Tyler Bioshock, and if you want to see more of me, I'm constantly in the Facebook group talking about whatever the heck's going on. And I have my own podcast called the Peanut Butter Podcast, where I talk about peanut butter, whatever's going on in the media news, and my aunt, who, yeah, she's pretty freaky.
Dave, you got any stand-up gigs coming this week you want to plug?
I'm still trying to process what Tyler just said. That was.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention also. I'm still running that contest. Do you want me to the chat? Do you want me to get for my lovely aunt the nurse outfit or the maid outfit?
No.
What are you talking about?
What? Do you need us to call Child Protective Services?
No.
Or Brazers?
I don't want to see that. I don't think anyone wants to see it. Nobody gets.
I feel like more people want to see that than they probably want to know.
No.
Oh, get us out of here, Rob.
All right, everybody. Okay. Thank you for joining us.
That makes me feel better. Some guy said I sound like Roger from American Dad.
I've been compared to Roger. I still don't know why.
I'm a loser.
Yeah, you sure it's not our soundboard?
Hello.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hey,